About the giving.
Yeah.
For me, it was not hard, but it took me to a place. I hope I never have to go there again. But all the thing, my first thought was when I was listening to it, and anytime I listen to it, is the caregiving angle with respect to the person that you care for and how hard it is for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Tania and I were caregivers for my parents for years. And that was really pretty hard. The song, even though they were in the back of my mind, at that particular time, they had already passed away. And the immediate issue was Tania's mother, who's also named Tania. And she had, the first verse is all about my relationship with her. Tania and I spent the better part of 12 years being the closest contact with her, as far as, conversation, as far as helping her out, as far as doing her shopping, getting her medications, all the rest of that kind of stuff. And most of the time, I'd be going over and taking care of that business. And we would sit down, called her Ma. Me and Ma would sit down and talk. And we'd have our conversations and our moments and stuff like that. And she had dementia creeping in slowly but surely, but we had good conversations over many of the years that we were together, and just the two of us hanging out and talking in her apartment. So, but then things with Gary started kicking in. The second verse is more about Gary than it is about Ma, because she didn't have cancer, she didn't have chemo, she didn't have 1,000 medical appointments and having to deal with doctors that don't know what the hell they're doing and finally find one that actually does. To go through all of that, to go through the preliminaries and the operations, and then the post-op and the anesthesia and the medications you have to take, and, getting the doses right. I mean, all that stuff can drive you out of your mind, in terms of, not allowing you to even sit back and enjoy just the simplest moments in life, like sitting in a rocking chair on the front porch and enjoying a sunrise or a sunset or something like that. You really don't even have that kind of, I guess you could say, release. But if you're the person who's actually doing the caregiving, I can tell you, it is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to see them go through all of that, but also that these are moments that will be so precious later on. The conversations I had with my parents, the conversations I had with Tania's mother, are things that I will carry with me the rest of my life. They're very meaningful and they're very poignant, and they are full of love and humor and just life experience. And so. It's, you have the caregiving, you care a lot, but also it's how much you want to give. I'll push this wheelchair for miles. That's my take on it. If you're in, you're in. Either you're going to do it right or you're not going to do it. So that's what we did with my parents. That's what we did with Tania's mom. And I felt like, plus, that was another collaboration with me and Stevie on our finger picking, which is one of the best finger picking collaborations we've ever had. And so it just worked. It was simple, it was direct, but anybody who's a caregiver can connect to that song. They understand that song. And I tried to make it as beautiful and especially with the background vocals as I could, to let them know that it is a hard, it's a hard sacrifice on a lot of people's parts, but also it's incredibly rewarding.
Can you pick up some things at the grocery? Can you move my table and chair? I've been calling every 5 minutes, Can you see I'm losing my head? Oh my. I'll be sure to get your medication. Save some time for touches and smiles. Say the words that make a conversation. I will push this wheelchair for miles. It's never about the hours. Cherish the time you share. It's sometimes about the giving, but always a care. It's been too many days on the chemo, and it's hard to keep anything down. A schedule full of appointments. I'm so tired of running around. Yes, I am. So many things to consider. So many things that I fear. But I wake up praying and hoping, and it's all because you are here. Yes, it is. I'll be sure to get your medication. Save some time for touches and smiles. Say the words that make a conversation. I will push this wheelchair for miles. It's never about the hours. Cherish the time you share. It's sometimes about the giving, but always the care. It's never about the hours. Cherish the time you share. It's sometimes about the giving, but always the care. Always the care.